Free solution catch Ghana say a buying sakra yebeba. Na DNA den sakra yebeba. Enema mienu job creation. That is employment conditions and economy. These two will bring the change of government because now the economy aspect of Ghanaian governance at the time. They ain't any. Kwayana si dine or my own who si kasam cheshayete. Ne da yenim. Afei, for the first time in the history of the country, now unemployment rate was 14%. So free solution on me credible to predict elections. These are the two cardinal things that they are buying sakra. And so me far budget no. I was looking at these two critical areas. So enunti Ghana for Gina so to abeti NDC MPP amanyoko na. What is the alternative the NDC is bringing on board to alleviate these challenges? And I think they a very fair analysis on the budget. And this offer me for these two key things. Offer the economy aspect and the job creation. Me obabuno there. Me di kan job creation aspect. Their budget is projecting 800,000 jobs for the Ghanaian people. Let's look at the composition of the jobs. So offer 800,000 jobs now. Almost predominantly 490,000 every free road infrastructure mobilization emunaba. Using World Bank metrics for employment when it comes to road. Nyamiadom. My first degree is in civil engineering. One of the key courses I'm a year specialty, highway engineering. So when it comes to road and those things,
that's your area.
Say I can say World Bank metric for employment. It is called labor days, another engineering terms, development engineering, event Mondays. Walasa. Bade. So you see, Naminia Pra making reference. He was trying to be smart about this whole thing. Let me tell you, fair. Onim say Bimukwa Kutajuma or Ghana and Brembra, they are being underpaid because of say Yenisika. So it's not about a job. A job can be tag anything, but we are looking for quality jobs for the Ghanaian people. Quality sustainable jobs. So I was looking at budgety Ebema provisions for quality and sustainable jobs. Why? What are we talking about? So we 490,000, what if free 800,000 more? What like remnant that 310,000 plus jobs. At the end of the day, say your core road construction site, our core site. Obenya Mondays laborers. Because your baby and I'll be to my use a book for you can say World Bank metrics. Now what we do is that we take mechanization so okay in Zebianka drain and all the we excavator 80 drains now you allow stretch now by one to give them those Mondays and give them the money instead of say into machinery. So these are the metrics of World Bank use. So all these are demobilized. What it means is that it's a recycle. These individuals will not come back to the economy without jobs. So the 490,000 component of the 800 are sustainable. It doesn't give a future to the Ghanaian people. It can't pay their social security. It cannot make them formidable citizens of the country. And that is not what the Ghanaian people subscribe for. Engine America said their budget shows glimpses of smartness. And you see in Ghana, Aluta, Ghanaians do not have any problem when it comes to drafting policies and drafting good laws. The bane of our country has always been execution. It is, if you look at the face value of it has some catchy, fanciful things. But the question is, how is the NDC going to do it? So my catcher say, baby, Ghana, your prototype jobs. Because the prototype jobs are these are generic traditional jobs. These Mako teacher training area, buying posting. These are generic. So baby, our money population about bedroom. Now Eugene was doing analysis on population and how the people are going to score employment rate, graduate and any penny nini. There are so many people who are skilled or money. So now I expect government to think outside the box in creating jobs for the people. If you look at this budget, clearly the NDC government has failed to think outside the box in creating sustainable jobs for the Ghanaian people. Because we, it's like, this is what, it is not sustainable. Now let's go into the remaining 310,000. Remaining 310,000. This I comment. You see, Ghana, sometimes Malaysia Malaysia economy what they are. Now President Kofo says through under PSI. Now, Osha Alan Kodusha Martin Great Transformational Plan or mag elaborate where they are been. I think NDC for now. And now Benon also be created 250,000 jobs on that mechanized or industrialized oil palm industry. Fair enough. The question is, what are the components of these 250,000 jobs? Because in the category, is it into planting, farmers, and processing? You see, this is what budgets used to. We should be very, very serious as a nation. Over 250,000, okay. Within that, engineers are say, subcontractor say, a mob no bit may say. That is how battle call Lampia. Quote free 310,000. Now, Ebeka say. No, we are not, as I said, 20,000. You see, and Ukrainian and say this budget is not giving a robust way out as to how sustainable jobs will be created. The job component of the budget, I say, let's use something to represent something. Oh, Babu now will team now do you need to budget to so. Now one pay be a young 134. Che, are there back where budget in the more?
You finish in the next minute for me.
One of the cardinal things the NDC preach about, in fact, the catalyst to, as the narrative of Galamsey, the catalyst to their enormous victory in the last election, faceted on a certain 24-hour economy. Aluta, the 24-hour economy is an auxiliary policy. What it means is that it's supposed to be hinge on other policies vis-a-vis industrialization drive, because you go into 24-hour economy when you are into mass production, when your economy is production driven. Any flagship program I didn't Ghana for 24-hour economy born no sign. The allocation to 24-hour economy is 110 million. Then allocation to sanitary pads to girl child 292 million. Priorities. Priorities.
Mate, on the strength of priorities, Mame Enkwasenia Daniel Teku of the New Patriotic Party, so who the same budget.
You see, I find it very, very uncomfortable. Abra, many an person on pitch me against my own background, artisans. You see, so what you mean? Come on, media na. Their budgets, they are telling us, or more budget, or more country, as to why they are saying 490,000 indirect jobs that means they will to us. It is premised on World Bank metric for road work employment. And a major when you come to development engineering and World Bank metric now, it is facet on labor day, labor by day. That is the World Bank metric.
Yes, you say a bro no so I be onim bravi. Who be answer dey so a mason and dey tian no pa be a fan motorbike.
Exactly.
Afa be an shuffle. Afa ne nema be a sa hair pan bi. Okọ adwuma ba. O dey see the fee. O dey see the fee. O ne yere ne ma wo hwe omo. Ti say obi benye no be for 3 years. Isn't it the good thing?
On my timelines. On my timelines. Tie. I sat on this platform and told the world that NAPCO is a sham from the MPP. I told the world that NAPCO is a sham. Why? Wasn't NAPCO going to create a period, a short-term sustainable job for Ghanaian people? I don't know what happened to those who came out. They came back to their ABC on Betram, FABM. Why? Because the NAPCO job creation wasn't sustainable. That is the argument. So you see, you cannot, and you see, these artisanal, they are informal sector job creation. They are informal forms of creating jobs. And so normally, these things are not captured in national planning schemes at the individual level. So if you come and bring a policy document to the Ghanaian people, as a government, say me create it fits into an indirect forms that we can't even guarantee their social security. We can't guarantee other social, defense hedge.
Okay, social security. That's I am coming from pension background. This are buying by expressway. I name say known contractors. For Ghana near or ye carpenter ni or ye mason ni for the next 3 years no obey adwuma wo ho a yenim say na employer ni I can then work in say making sure say what tier 1 what tier 2 na ebi mpo no ebi a onye tier 3 enka ho for the next 3 years but for the next 3 years so when him say Gabi koye adwuma e wo company Brian the term bia no be nya deductions no atia is that alone not a good step? Why are we young for 3 years no? But we want to overlook the 3 years.
You see,
is that a fair
my experience in the construction industry? I am telling you that they are creating timelines that are feasible. Let me tell you.
But I will let you continue. But we can't also say simple expressway naba. Na Ghana ni bi koye of 3 years. Na say when you juma and you bioma is not a good thing because that 3 years in the life will be better off.
You see, NC Odi that 3 years what happened next. And I'm doing analysis not all man.
Okay.
We are looking at a narrative. And I'm doing coffee solutions narrative prior to the elections, meaning that employment matters are very cardinal to the Ghanaian people. And according to Free Solution. Me say budget. Me, I will be unfair to the NDC when I make say budget in the because debt reduction, your public debt is what because of a certain CDN strength, top notch. Yes. Whatever out of wasn't have done, go those. Because I will be a hypocrite to sit on a platform when a certain dollar was moving around 16 plus. Now make say no yes 10.9. That would be a very unfair analysis. So kudos to that part. Kudos to Mahamake because Sebobush any bills of chronic ailment be the cancer. Now we yes Ghana buying beso asana. Kudos. These are the components of the budget. But my question is, what are the more pressing issues of the budget? And nobody has them near. Into maybe the NAPCO to 2 and 1 say. If Obeka say economic policy, then it should be sustainable.
Okay.
Say me dino and penenforce I did an a deprep. Because this Anna and what happens to my future? They are naka. This is what I'm letting my brother know that part of their manifesto. And as a budget, no, it is not sustainable. And it's one something and make catcher and say 24-hour economy, a auxiliary policy. Make also be good and say, also no, but I'm telling you, all the economies of the world almost running 24 hours. They are economy driven by production. And it's economy, first class economies. Why? Because they put mechanism systems in place that will warrant a 24-hour workload.
So when you actually say free baby.
Tie, empany say, ofiti pause ya. Preocupa emoja ebeba. There was one thing the MPP brought on board.
Okay.
One district, one factory. Unfortunately, for whatever time, implementation is lucky a delay. But even with that, the MPP left government with about 150 workable factories under Alan Koyo-Jemati. When the policy was brought back from the presidency to the trade ministry, within that period of 3-4 years, Alan supervision, because of the nature of it, about 100. That is how we start progressive economies. Makacho say all economies around the world, they 24 hours, they are production driven. And it's all systems are, or factories, and then you can go into now. I can say so. Nurses for Miss Makacho says senior. These are traditional mainstream ways of creating jobs. Every me what as a president of the nation, I will create those jobs. Because when you say people retirement, I will liaise with Senate, I will liaise with the but near clear or modern pick. These are lazy Makacho said they are but they are gonna be doing. These are lazy way of creating jobs. They are not sustainable. Or can say 24 hours already. The medical areas now, they are 24 hours.
Why do you say that a lazy way?
You see,
because they're not so
very lazy way of creating jobs.
And also the wheels upon which the economy thrives.
Very lazy.
Can we live without teachers? Can we live without nurses? Can we live without doctors?
We have built. That is what I'm saying. That economies are driven on systems.
Okay.
We have built good systems. Your training college. I can boast of the only male teacher training college in West Africa, Mantec College of Education.
Yeah.
Every mimi krum, I went to a demonstration primary JH chess and answer me go pokwari. So make teacher for us minimum the American. These are indigenous systems. Training college na you're supposed to know be a retirement. So those are cycle jobs.
Okay.
And be able to looking at the unemployment backlog. How did they come about 2 million? You have to think outside the box and create jobs. Then get this normal makofa with no. We have to go beyond. And in the quest of going beyond the boss, no. and then that for that I'm saying sustainable na menu ani nya no de nsa.
Okay, pedase. Na mame enko Daniel Teku. Daniel, I want you to start with this.